From understanding what GIS, that is Geographic Information System, is, to exploring why it's a powerful tool for conservation, our conversation today takes you on a journey through the technologies helping protect our ecosystems. GIS is a geospatial tool that transforms data into meaningful insights, driving analysis and informed decision-making. We unpack the GIS tools shaping conservation today and explore what the future of GIS looks like. Watch, learn, and see how data is turning into action for people and nature.
My name is Eric Juma Wabwile. I am a GIS expert in charge of biodiversity ecosystems under the Regional Center of Excellence project.
Okay, so let's break down a few things you mentioned. GIS, what is GIS?
GIS is an abbreviation for Geographic Information System. It is a computerized system that helps to collect, process, and disseminate location-based information.
You've mentioned what GIS is and what biodiversity is, but what is the role of GIS in biodiversity conservation?
Before I speak about the role of GIS, we need to understand what is biodiversity conservation. Biodiversity conservation has to do with the protection and management of the variety of life, which is biodiversity. And we can't manage or protect what you don't know. So GIS helps us first to know where the biodiversity is. It helps us know the amounts of the biodiversity that we have, and it also helps us to know the distribution of biodiversity over the space. So GIS and sensing can also help us to track the growth of biodiversity. It can help us to track movement of biodiversity, especially the animals, and help us to make decisions related to biodiversity.
So what are the essential tools in geospatial, what are the essential geospatial technology tools that are used for biodiversity conservation?
So the GIS and remote sensing tools that are used in biodiversity can be categorized in so many levels. We have the tools that are used to collect and monitor biodiversity. So for example, we have technology like the GPS. The GPS helps us to monitor how the animals are moving within an ecosystem. We have technologies like the UAV, unmanned aerial vehicles, which we use to monitor how the biodiversity is doing. We also have technologies like the satellite technology. We use the satellite images to assess and know how the biodiversity is doing in an ecosystem. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are some of the challenges you experience as a GIS expert in biodiversity conservation?
The challenges that we're experiencing is the uptake of the technology, the GIS and remote sensing technology, because they are relatively new technologies, and most of the actors in biodiversity conservation are not well versed with them. So we have technologies that are not being used by the biodiversity conservation actors. We also have the issue of the costs of acquiring and using these technologies. For example, these technologies are somehow expensive. For example, when you talk about the UAVs, the unmanned aerial vehicles, which we normally call drones, they are relatively expensive to acquire and use. We also have some of the technologies which are not even accessible to some of the actors. So those are some of the issues or challenges we are facing in biodiversity conservation. Yeah.
So you mentioned you work with the Regional Center of Excellence for Biodiversity Conservation, biodiversity in Eastern and Southern Africa.
Yes.
So how is that project helping to meet those challenges, rather close those gaps?
Thank you. The Regional Center of Excellence project is doing a lot of work to meet some of these challenges. For example, one of the initiatives RCOE is doing is to build the capacity of the biodiversity conservation actors to be able to map and monitor their biodiversity. So there are trainings organized to capacitate the stakeholders on how to use the GIS and remote sensing tools for mapping and monitoring biodiversity in their countries. And the second way that the project is also helping to address the challenges is through the provision of these technologies. So RCOE is working with other partners like the ESRI to provide mapping software to the stakeholders, which will help in reducing the costs of mapping and monitoring biodiversity in their countries. Yeah.
So as we finish, as we close, what do you see in the future of GIS and biodiversity conservation?
The future of GIS is very bright. I see a lot of automation in GIS and remote sensing. There is ongoing growth of the AI, artificial intelligence concept, which is being adopted in GIS and remote sensing. So I see a lot of automation. I see a lot of insights coming from the information collected by the GIS and remote sensing tools. And I see improvement in terms of management of biodiversity as a result of the information you're going to get from these technologies. Thank you so much.